Welcome to the Friday at 4 podcast series with your host Charles Luttrell and co-host Steve Kent.
Good afternoon, everyone. Steve, Jen, welcome to Friday at 4.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. I miss it every time, but I took off work today just for it. Well,
Wow,
happy
I
day.
feel special.
Good
Thank
stuff.
you so much.
So do
How
I.
about that, Steve?
Glad you're here. Looking forward to hearing some words of wisdom.
I
So,
hear your TikToks and everything, and I'm like, these
oh,
guys
cool.
are in some deep conversations, even though I only get snippets of them. I want to hear the whole thing.
We
It-
do, don't we? I mean, we really, and as Steve talks about almost every episode, we don't script this stuff. We are just two guys and we just pick a topic and we talk about it,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Good, because I was like, I didn't get the script, so if this is scripted, I'm
There's
out of luck.
there's no script.
Oh,
We're not tied to anybody.
yeah.
We say as long as it's legal, and I say that all the time, as long as it's legal, we talk about almost anything, and it's our views.
Yeah,
So some people
absolutely.
agree, some people don't, but it's our views.
Hmm.
Hopefully it resonates, but the only thing we promise people is you're going to get the truth. We're not going to
Hmm.
sugarcoat. You may not like what we say, but it's the truth, and that's what we go for.
I love it.
So okay.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. And Steve, start us off with our topic this week.
So as a group, we decided on something that we have all probably heard about, but I know myself, I had no clue what it meant up until recently. And it's this topic called mindset. And I'm very interested. I mean, I have some opinions, of course, but I'm interested in Jen chiming in on a little bit of what she thinks, and then we can all go back and forth, pitching in on what we think, our stories, how it's impacted us. So, Jen, if you can just give us, just a quick little, to you, what is mindset? What should we be looking for?
Well, how about before she does it, give a little brief introduction of who you are,
Well,
just so our
that's
audience
right.
knows a little bit more about you, and then you can go ahead and start with mindset. I think,
Yeah, these guys are used
most
to
of my
having
audience,
famous people on here who they already know who we are,
yeah,
right? But I'm
yeah,
not
most of
I'm
our
not
audience will
famous
know
yet.
who you are anyway. So, I mean, yeah, go ahead real quick and then tell us a bit
Yeah.
what your thoughts are on mindset. Sorry, she didn't mean to steal your thunder. Sorry.
No, 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 no. You were right. I jumped, so I apologize. We do need to know who Jen is. So
Yeah.
I apologize for that, Jen. Sorry. So go ahead.
I was okay. I was just ready to jump in, but my name is Jen. I go by JJ or Vegan Knowledge JJ online. And basically, I how me and Chuck met is I used to own a delivery business, which he was awesome and his Q.A.C team helped me a lot then. And so I got out of that field when I kind of changed my entire life. I back in 2019, long story, very short, so that you already have that live stream about my story. But I lost 55 pounds. I
Wow.
reversed chronic back pain, seasonal allergies that I had all had over 18 years, one since a kid, and basically decided that what I wanted to do was help other people make this transition in their life with their mindset basically and their diet. So that's been my purpose, and that's why I was excited. I was a psychology major in school, so the
Okay.
mindset thing, of course, kind of hit me, and I just wrote a book. Of course, I have to do a shameless
Nice.
plug. And
Nice.
it's all about mindset. It looks like a diet book because it's got me on there, but really the
Right.
main focus is the mindset because there's a million diet books out. But
Sure.
really, what we all know what to do. What is the difference is the mindset. So that's
Correct.
kind of my story and how it ties into mindset.
Correct.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I love that you shared that you lost 55 pounds. Um, and yes, there are a million different diets out there, and they all claim they work, and they might for a day, a week, a month,
Mhm.
6 months, but then you're going to be right back to where you were because you're not changing the habits. You're just eating for today to lose the pound. And when the pound is gone, okay, I don't have to do this anymore. And you're
Yep.
done.
And that's why we all, oh, down, right? We all do that. And you don't it's not even about weight loss to me. It's about your mindset about your health and your body and taking care of yourself and your mind. Like we've all gone through periods of time we might be taking care of one of them, but the other one is not where it needs to be. So you could be extremely feeling at your best, but yet something's wrong up here.
Right.
You can
Right.
look good, but we all know that that doesn't mean that a person's happy. So it definitely is so many things connected to mindset and perspective. I think is part of mindset that I think the shift of mindset, shift of perspective can kind of reverse how you stick to things,
Mhm.
and how you see the world.
It is. And I'm gonna just continue one of the thoughts you just started with. The mindset shift is in our entire life.
Yeah.
So in your case, from what I'm gathering, your weight loss, your health, and that mindset of, okay, eat right, be healthy, exercise, do the things that you need to do consistently and build those habits. When Chuck goes into different businesses, and correct me if I'm wrong, he's going into a business to view what's really happening versus the reviews that are out there. But again, it's the mindset of the business owner. Do they accept mediocrity, or are they looking to improve for their customer experience to increase the business, the gross and net revenue? On
Hmm.
my side, on the financial side, people have been taught through their entire life to save a certain way, but they've never been told that that certain way they've been told is not the best for them.
And don't forget limiting beliefs. I know we have to deal with a
Correct.
lot of that too. When it comes to business,
Correct.
we were all told, oh, if you make a lot of money, all those things that were in, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and,
Right. Right.
that like we've read in T. Harv Eker, he talks about it. Like people are just like, you're a bad person if you make a lot of money and you have a business. That doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
it means if you
Right.
handle it the wrong way, you can be a bad
Sure.
person.
Sure. But
But
it,
Hmm.
right. And if you look at anything, they're always going to say to you, oh, making a lot of money is not good. But how come 1% of the people are rich and own all their assets? From a physical perspective, well, they keep saying skinny is good, but in reality, the mid-sized person is what the majority of people are. It's not the super skinny model. From a
Mhm.
business perspective, yeah, you have to be small. You can't grow. You can't compete with the big boys.
Hmm.
Why not? Why
Right.
Exactly.
Oh,
not?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
That
so
that's
that's
I think that's an important thing, right? Is that if you take a step back from what you're thinking about doing versus taking a step forward, think about your mindset first before you take that step so you
mhm,
can kind of lay out your game plan so you're not thinking about one side or the other. I can't do this, or I shouldn't do this, or maybe I'm going to fail at this, so I won't do that. So if you have the right mindset, it allows you to really look at the bigger picture of what you're trying to accomplish.
yeah, yeah. It's the same thing in anything. If you don't try, you're guaranteed to fail because you haven't tried.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Keep saying the limiting belief, you keep saying, no, I can't, I'm not good enough, I don't have the experience, I don't have. Not everybody went to college,
Mhm.
but there's a lot of very successful people out there. And I'm not knocking college, I'm just giving an example.
I know, but
Um,
it's the truth.
It is the truth. Yeah.
regardless of what it is, what you're doing, not everybody is at the top of their game. But there's
Mhm.
a ton of very successful people in everything that we do.
Mhm.
So stop saying no. Stop saying you can't. Now, I'm a
Yeah.
firm believer in put the toe in the water before you jump in the deep end of the pool. Okay. At
Mhm.
least see what's out there. And I know, Chuck, you and I have talked about this in a number of episodes. Don't just jump in. Look what's there, try it out, sample it, put a cap on your time and the dollars you invest to see if you really like it before you make the leap. But
Mm,
do something. If you're not happy
yeah,
where you are, do something to change it. We all have that ability.
yeah. You know
Jen?
what once, you know what one sticks out the best for me? Every time I even talk about anything that comes to like success stories, mindset, whatever, Colonel Sanders, that
Mhm.
guy failed over 1,000 times and he
Yep.
still made it.
Yep.
And he was what, in his 90s, 80s or 90s?
Yeah, I
So
read that.
I forget. He
And
was old. Yeah.
I don't know how old you guys are. I'm not going to ask, make us all say our age, but I know
Ancient.
this. I know that there are people that are like many people who become really successful. They don't do it really until after 50. Like
Yeah.
I've heard this over and over
Yeah.
because you kind of like you have to figure out everything going on in life. You know, sometimes you might put
Yeah.
your toe, to your point, in the wrong pools a bunch of times, but
Yeah.
consistency is, not giving up and staying consistent in that mindset. Like, forget I'm going to be successful. You can have that goal, but
Yep.
your real goal needs to be what you're going to do tomorrow when you wake up and what you're going to do to build your business like daily. Because even if it doesn't seem like it's working, I remember we talked about this like a seed like underneath the ground. It takes a long time before that seed like
Mhm.
pokes through, but it's
Yep.
not that it's not
Yep.
working. It's
Correct.
just that, it took
Correct.
I remember the other business I had, it was like we had three customers, well one essentially, but then three
Mm.
customers, and we just kept delivering to them every day, those same three people, and we're like, we're only getting three orders sometimes, but most of the time
Mm.
we were excited about it. And it
Yeah.
was like that, like we said with diet, like what I talk about now, just worry about what your process is every day with your mindset,
Yep.
because setting goal,
Yep.
like if you think I'm going to make $1 million or I'm going to lose 100 pounds, either way that's going to take you being consistent for day after day. It's not going to happen right away.
Yep. Yep. So you mentioned planting the seed.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know if you've ever heard the story of the bamboo. You
Vaguely,
plant
I remember
bamboo,
something about it.
it
yeah,
grows underground for 5 years before it goes above ground. And within a matter of weeks, it can grow, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 feet high in a matter of weeks. But it's that 5 years underground. So if the more seeds you plant today, some will come due tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. Plant all the seeds, and
Hmm.
experience will help you as each seed germinates. Because now you got the experience, you have the mindset, and now you can look to figure out what you want to do. But the more seeds you plant, the more you learn, the more you try. Now it
yeah,
gives you options.
yeah. That's one thing that I talk about, and to Jen, great post you posted about the picture with the seed. I love that,
Mm,
and I think what's cool is that I've been planting seeds. This is my third year of planting seeds,
mm,
so I know I'm getting close, and I know you
We're going to
know
start calling you Bamboo.
yeah,
hmm
exactly right.
Yeah.
It's coming, and
Hmm.
I'm doing it right. I've got the right mindset.
hmm
I've shifted my business model several times, and I know by having the right mindset, relaxing, not stressing about my processes, and just doing what I need to do, to get where I'm going, I'm good.
Yeah.
I will say too, with both of you guys kind of help people build businesses, and sometimes that little bit of knowledge or something you don't know can make all the difference. Like maybe you've been doing a process and
Right.
you keep doing the same thing, but if you get some help and you see where your inconsistencies are, maybe with Chuck, reviewing the business for you and with you helping them with one little tweak in their financial
hmm
success. It reminds
Right.
me this
Yeah.
story I heard. There was two guys. I might be telling it wrong. It's a paraphrase, but they were both. They were, I guess, wood choppers. I don't know what you would call them.
Okay.
And one guy, each day, like they would do the same amount of hours, but the one guy would leave for an hour every day
Hmm.
and he would chop more wood than the other guy. And finally, the guy couldn't take it anymore. And he's like, how are you doing this? What do you do for that hour? Because and he said, I go sharpen my axe. And that
There you
reminds
go.
me of just sometimes give up that ego and get a little bit of help, whether it's a
Yep.
coach for business or finances or anything. thing, or maybe to find out what's going on with your business, because we all want to think we know the right way, we know the right way. And like just in the last year, how much I've learned is crazy that I didn't know for the other 47, 6, whatever years. I give up after 40.
So,
Right.
so two thoughts. One is you're too young. Okay, well, we won't go there. Okay. Well, actually, the other side, that means I'm too old, but again, we won't go there. Um, but I loved your point about the ego. People think that they know everything and they have to do everything. But there are people who will help you at no cost because they truly want to see you succeed.
I'm one of those
And
people. You know it. I'm raising my
you and I
hand.
both go back and forth after
Yeah,
this
we do.
call. We go back and forth
Yeah.
all the time, helping each other,
Yeah.
This
different
whole
ideas.
platform is free. So
Yeah, you
everyone's
know,
getting all this knowledge.
right. But
Yeah.
it's help other people. It's you've heard of the golden rule, do unto others you want to them, do unto you. But I add to
Absolutely.
that. My add to that is do it first.
Yeah.
You want help from somebody, help them first. You want trust from somebody, trust them first. Do it first. It doesn't cost anything, but the good feeling you get from helping somebody is huge because
Yeah.
you never
And
know
I,
when and how it's going to come back.
yeah, and I don't want to cut you off. And I just wanted to, because while I had that thought in my mind, I want to give a quick shout out to Rachel Gaddis again, because her and I had a conversation through text message yesterday,
Hmm.
and she opened my eyes to a whole part of
Hmm.
ChatGPT that I did not know existed.
Wow.
The
Okay.
Explorer.
Hmm.
Jen, did you know about this? I had no idea about the
I
Explorer.
don't know.
And you get different ChatGPTs for what you're specifically looking for. I didn't know
Hmm.
that.
I
Wow.
think I didn't know they were all like different chat. I've heard of different like platforms, like especially when I was looking into the book. But you
Mhm.
just reminded me of something, and that's awesome, Rachel. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. Now I'm gonna go run and look all that up. Um,
Yeah,
I
it
was
was
thinking
amazing.
about algorithm when you were talking about helping somebody else first. Because
Hmm.
like you can create your own algorithm just like
Hmm.
ChatGPT or social
Hmm.
media does. If people are saying, "Why am I feeling depressed? All this stuff on my newsfeed." Well, all you're looking at is what's going on in the world and all the
Right.
fighting and
Right.
getting all in the comments and
Yep.
arguing with people. You're basically creating that in your,
Hmm.
it's Facebook, but it's pretty much like life. If that's what you're surrounding yourself or what you're giving out, that's what comes back at us. So I love that.
Think
And
about it, right?
I just
Right.
I
And think
love
about
that.
it, right? That's part of the topic we're talking about here, discussing about mindset. I mean, clearly what you just talked
Hmm.
about, if you have that mindset of I'm going to get negativity all the time, that's what your feed's going to be. The law of attraction,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
You get what you
Yeah.
ask for, you know?
Yep. Yep. Who was it? I think it was Henry Ford, and I know I'm going to mess this quote up, so I apologize. He said something like, whether you think you're right or you think you're wrong, you're right. It depends on what you
You're
feed your
I
brain.
love that.
Are you feeding your brain, I can't do it, I'm no good, I'll never get it done? Or are you feeding your brain, I am good, I will learn, I will try, I will succeed? Whatever
Yeah.
you
You were
feed your
close.
brain is what you will do.
You were close. The quote is either you think you can or you can't. You're right. I think that's the way the quote goes.
Well, I said I was going to be off a little bit, so at least I kind of covered myself up front. So okay. Okay.
I'm gonna look it up right now while you guys are chatting. I'm gonna look it up because I think I think we're close. I'm gonna look it
We're
up.
close.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Something like that. But we all got the meaning of it, right? Whether we
Yes.
had the
Whether
phrase,
you
that's
think
why I
you
like, I hope
can
nobody ever
or
hears
you
that
think
real
you
story
can't,
that the
you're
guy
right.
told about
Yeah.
the axe. Because
yeah.
we,
So
Yep.
in my company, Universal Wealth, every Friday morning, there's over 2,000 of my teammates gather, and we have a 1 hour session on mindset every Friday morning.
Nice.
And it's all
that's
about
amazing.
positivity and the good we're doing and how we're helping people. And don't stop. And if you have questions, ask for all the things we all talked about a few minutes ago. Ask. Don't let your ego get in the way. Learn.
Mhm.
Everybody has their own specialties, but together we're that much more powerful. And it's the same thing whether you're in a weight loss program for health or weight loss, some other health related thing, or you're in business or you're in finance, it's the team that can help you go further.
So true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about teamwork.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I reminded a couple of folks yesterday and a couple of days ago that, it's good that you put your head down and do your thing
Hmm.
and do it for yourself, right? You want to hit the grind. But
Hmm.
also said that everybody needs somebody. You can't do it alone.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
Cannot do it alone. It's
Yep.
just not possible. You don't have the
Yep.
knowledge, the time, the money, whatever.
Yeah.
But you have to be willing to step up and say, help.
I think
Yes.
that's a big problem too, right? A lot of us are, again, like Jen said, right? Our ego gets in the way. We don't want help. We want to do it ourselves. I don't want you to help me. I'm gonna do it on my own. I'm gonna prove you wrong. I do it on my own. And that's not the right attitude. It's not the right mindset because
No.
we need everybody.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And that's a really important thing, especially when what I talk about in the book is getting involved in a community of people that are also health conscious. Of course, I talk about a lot plant-based eating. So like if you're in your regular world and everybody's like, we're gonna go have beers and we're gonna go, get pizza, and you're trying to like combat that, sometimes it might get very difficult if you don't have those people to lean on, even when it comes to mindset. It's good to have those people to be around and know, hey, we all think alike. That's why I love, listening to shows like this and motivational things, because there's like something I learn every single day, whether it's when I watch this or like a motivational person, like they might give me a shift in perspective that I need for that day. Even if you knew it before, sometimes a reminder is helpful, like and you learn. And I think that's what I said. Learning is so important because you can learn from other people too, from your team. It doesn't matter if you're the person, let's say on the hierarchy, like the boss, I can tell by both of you, you're probably great to work for because you
Mm.
listen to the other person. You're not like, I'm here and you're here, so you do what I say. You accept feedback. And that's like a lot of what you do, Chuck, is get people's feedback, whether they want to hear it or
Mhm.
not, so that they can improve, right? Like, so
If they're willing to.
we have
Yeah.
to hear it
Yeah.
sometimes.
If they're willing to.
That's true, right? And I agree with that, right? Sometimes it's not what you want to hear. Sometimes it's bad news, but
Right.
it's still the news that you should listen to, take action or not, right?
Right. Right. So my kids are in their 30s and I'm sure I am not alone. But when you tell your child or you tell anybody, an employee, anybody, you tell somebody something, they're not going to listen. But that same thing can be said by somebody
Someone else.
else and they listen. So don't take it personal. So to your point, Jen, listen to multiple people, get multiple views because they could say the same thing, but one person you ignore and the other person say, you know what? I like it. I'm doing it. Same exact message delivered from a different person. So
It's like
keep listening.
friends, family, our
Yep.
partners in
Yep.
life. They do
Yep.
it all the time.
That's
Everybody's
right.
had that happen. Like, I told you
Yeah.
that 6 months ago. And they come to you
Like
with this
yeah,
idea,
you
like,
weren't
did you
ready to
know? I'm like,
receive it. You weren't ready to receive it. So you let it go. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's important, isn't it, Steve? I mean, you said that you said that's great because that's true. We sometimes we're not ready for that message, right?
Hmm.
And a friend of mine mentioned that as well, is, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. That's
Agreed.
another great phrase.
Yeah. It's true. It is
Yeah.
And
true.
you have to hear it multiple times. Sometimes you have to be
Yep.
taught it every year, or you have to
Yep.
keep reminding yourself, or get yourself in that state of gratitude because, in anything you're doing, it is, it's not like everything's going to always go exactly as planned. So it's just about how you're reacting to that and shifting. Like I think about, let's talk like a basketball player, if we look at Michael Jordan, or I guess most recently, what's that guy with the Hornets that Don likes, LaMelo.
Mm.
He's like nothing is in his way when you see these
Hmm.
people playing, or like
Right.
one of the great quarterbacks. Like there could be 100 defenders around, all this stuff stirring
Yep.
around them, and they just look so natural. Like,
Yep.
oh, I'm just gonna. It's like him and the receiver, or him in
Is
the basket. So
Yep.
it's like the let them hold you up or stop you,
Yep.
I think
Yep.
is important.
There's a book called Relentless, which I'm reading right now. I just looked at who wrote it. Tim Grover. I think his name is Tim Grover. It's all about um, what makes somebody just average, or like the LeBron James, the Michael Jordan type person, Kobe Bryant, those type of people. And
Mhm.
it's an amazing book. I'm about 2/3 of the way through it. Really good book. So to the talk about the relentless of what makes you go as opposed to average. Ignore the naysayers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a big one right there, especially business, getting healthy, changing anything about you. Like that's a hard one because even people that don't mean to, they don't, especially people closest to
Hmm.
you, they don't look at you as Chuck the millionaire, or
Yeah.
Steve the maybe the financial guru. I mean,
Yeah.
but millions of strangers look at you guys like that. So
Yeah.
they might have those limiting beliefs and filter over into you like
Right.
people will say like, "Oh, you sure you want to do that?" and give you all 10 reasons why you shouldn't start a
Mhm.
business. But
yeah,
why you
yeah,
shouldn't eat that way, or they worry
Yeah.
about you like, "Oh, they kind of want you to be how you were in a lot of cases because it's like we're losing that bond group of friends if you're not going out with them every night.
yeah.
It's different, but it's a
Yeah.
same relationship, but you just have to navigate it differently.
Yeah. You
Correct.
know what's funny about when you said that is people are watching. They won't help us, but they're watching. They want to watch us fail. They don't want to see us succeed because they're
Correct.
jealous. It happens
Correct.
so much. But you better believe they're watching. They're watching what we're doing.
There's something that I've heard a number of times that you, and I mean you, I'm just anybody in particular, you are the average of the five people you hang out with the most. So who are you hanging out with? The
Me,
people who are
myself,
good, me, myself, and I.
And
and
But
I.
Irene, remember that
but
And
if
movie?
Irene, I
yeah,
didn't want
but
to
if
say.
you hang out with people who are negative, who
Yeah,
aren't looking to excel, to do it, that's the way you're going to be. But if you hang out with people who are successful, who are striving to be successful, who really care about you, you're going to be in that group because you're around it all the time. And your mindset, back to that, your mindset
that's it.
changes. So
Yeah,
be careful who you hang out with.
yeah,
You may
Hmm.
have to jettison people that you like, but they're not helping you.
Hmm.
yeah,
That's so
yeah.
true.
That's the truth. Yeah.
Before we leave, I wanted to say that I have a gift or whatever. So my new book here,
Oh,
instead of you guys having to download it on Kindle and everything, I'm going to give all of the listeners of this show
oh,
um, a free
nice.
copy in PDF form. So just I'll give Chuck the link because I appreciate you guys letting me come on, and I hope this can help people. It's about a blueprint to transform your health, and I'll let these guys transform your wealth, but I'll go with the health part.
I
Can you
appreciate
just
that.
real quick hold the book back up so we can see it?
Oh,
Yeah, we appreciate that, Jen. That's
Perfect.
that's
Thank
that's
you.
that's that's awesome of you. Appreciate that.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
thank
And
you.
you
I
know,
appreciate you
and
letting
again,
me
right,
come
what
talk about it. I'm all excited. I'm still in the beginning of it coming out.
No,
So
yeah,
absolutely. No, we're excited to have you here.
right. And think about that, right? What a way to put yourself in the right mindset to say,
Mhm.
even though I wrote this book, I want to see success for people and I want to be successful
Mhm.
with my book. You're saying I want to give it away free for people who listen to this episode. Thank
definitely,
you.
definitely. I
Appreciate
want
that.
Thank you.
I want
Yeah.
everyone to be able to read it, and hopefully if it helps them, that's the true, gratitude or the wealth
Hmm.
I get from it is knowing it changed
Yep.
someone's life. And if it starts doing that, then I'm sure people will buy it and recommend it to their friends.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Well,
No,
Steve, guess
right.
what? Guess what? I read it before it was put on Amazon. Ha.
he did. I didn't
Oh,
know
you're
whether I should tell them,
special.
right?
You're
He
special.
helped me.
Yep.
He's special.
How special.
I even got a mention in the dedication, so check it out. That's the
There you go.
Chuck I'm talking about from YouTube.
Yeah,
That's it.
I really
Like it.
I didn't
appreciate
know
that, Jen.
Steve then, but I'm sure he would
That's
have
okay.
noticed it.
I'll get it from Chuck.
I don't want him to
Yeah,
cut me off.
absolutely.
Good
All
stuff.
right. Yeah. All right. So
Mhm.
final thoughts on this mindset. I mean, I think it's a good topic. I think we covered a lot. And I think what's cool about this, we have
Mhm.
three different perspectives of, you know,
Mhm.
what mindset is and means to each of us, but how it can help all of us the same.
Great.
Mhm.
So my I can't speak today either. My parting thought, I'll get that out. Um, I want everybody, every night and every morning, to repeat 3 words. Yes, I can.
Nice.
Every night, every morning. Yes, I can. Repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. Change the mindset, and you'd be surprised over time, it will help you.
I love
Jen,
that.
what
And
you
if
got?
I had to say one thing to do is after you say yes, I can, talk about 4 things you're grateful for, no matter how
Mm,
small they are,
yep.
and tell people, like if you're in the house living with someone and every day they, bring you lunch or even like, wash your clothes or whatever it is, tell
Yeah.
them, hey, thank you for doing that. Because we don't realize it's people you work with or even people that follow you and listen to you on here. Like, we have to show our appreciation, and that'll bring that state of gratitude into you.
Yeah,
Love it. I love that. That's great.
that's good. Yep.
Yep.
And my final thought would be drop the fear. We're so afraid
Uh-huh.
of doing a lot of things because we're afraid. And if you can get over that fear, you can accomplish anything with the right
Yeah.
mindset.
Yep. Absolutely.
Reminds me of the give yourself permission story you probably remember that from the book. So I love it. I love this
Yeah.
conversation. Thanks for
Yeah.
having
Yeah,
me
It was
on.
great. No, appreciate you being
absolutely.
here. Thank you. It was great.
Yeah, it's a great topic, right? Because
Yeah.
it can go so deep. We could just continue this for hours because there's
We
so
could.
much you can get
Yeah.
from it from each
Yeah.
of our different views. Because
Yeah.
Steve with financial, me with the review and business analysis, and Jen with your eating habits. It's goes so deep with this. It's amazing. I love it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, guys,
Yeah.
thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Another edition of Friday at 4 because
It's 4 o'clock somewhere.
he's
I
getting it,
love
Jen.
it. Should do the 4, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
Come
it's
up with
Friday.
a
It's Friday
handshake
at
or something.
4 o'clock somewhere. He's getting it. I love it, man. Guys, thanks for
It's a
coming on.
good
I really
song too.
appreciate it.
Great. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate it. Chuck,
Yeah,
Thank you
Jen.
as always,
guys.
thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Jen, thanks for taking the time. I know it was
Yep.
hard for you to do this and find a time to come in and talk with us. I really appreciate it. Steve,
Mm.
as always, I know
Yep.
this is our
You're worth
usual
it.
thing. Appreciate it every time we come
Yep.
on and do this. I think this is our 27th episode.
Wow.
So
Oh,
yeah,
Wow.
nice.
yeah. So a
Nice.
little milestone, it's
Yep.
we're doing it. We're getting there.
Good
So
stuff.
yeah. Guys,
All right.
thanks again for coming on and spending the
You
time
got it.
with me. And we'll till our next episode.
You got
Thank
it.
you, oh
Guys,
Perfect.
wise men.
Oh, wise man.
have,
Thank you.
have a great rest of your evening and have a great weekend, guys.
You too. Take
You
care.
too. Bye
Thanks.
bye.
Take
Take
care.
care. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Thank you.
You've been watching the Friday at 4 podcast series with your host Charles Luttrell and co-host Steve Kent. Thanks for watching.